Hey YouTube, hey subscribers, thanks for tuning in. In this video, we're going to address the subject of narcissistic entitlement. This is a deep one, so settle in. First, let's talk about the word entitlement. In America, the word has taken on a highly negative connotation and meaning all of its own. For the sake of this video, we're not using that definition. For those who are unaware, in America, the word entitlement to many means something that you don't deserve. The actual definition of the word entitlement means the fact of having a right to something, the amount to which a person has a right. I'll go ahead and add my definition and say an entitlement is something you are rightfully owed for some pre-existing reason. So what are a few pre-existing reasons? Without getting too political, a few are the state of life or being alive, so you have the right to live, the state of freedom or being free, you have the right to be free, the right to pursue what makes you happy or what gives you pleasure in life, so long as that doesn't impede upon someone else's happiness or right to pleasure. And I'll add the right to receive what you have earned. So a paycheck, payment for services rendered, receiving goods that you purchased. So a sense of balance and justice. So basically, you're entitled to life, freedom, happiness, and fair treatment as a human being. I think that's a fair enough statement. The complications come in when you start to break down each category of entitlements. For example, a lot goes into keeping a human alive. It could be argued that we are all entitled to food, lest we lose the entitlement of being alive, but we are not going there in this video. Let's shift the focus back to narcissism. The problem with narcissists is they feel entitled in general, not only to those things we've discussed above, but mostly to things that no one is entitled to receive from another person. Examples of these things would include, but are certainly not limited to, another person's body, another person's money, another person's time, and another person's efforts and energies. It's funny, my narc college ex used to tell me all the time. He would actually say to me, "I let other people drive so I can save gas." So I would look at him and then I would ask him, "Do you give them gas money?" To which he'd reply, "No, then I wouldn't be saving money. I might as well drive my own car." And he was very matter of fact about it. So he was quite comfortable using others to enrich himself. He tried this with me several times, and it's one of the main reasons we're not together today. Narcissists feel entitled to other people's resources in order to improve their lives in some way. The court system calls this unjust enrichment, and if the court catches you in a business situation, they will actually make you pay the money back, or they will make you pay back whatever it is that enriched you unjustly. Narcissists are very comfortable with unjust enrichment. It's a way of life for them. Narcissists know how to use others in a variety of ways and will happily do so. And they do this because they feel entitled to everything everyone has or might possibly have. An example of a narc projecting how they'll use someone in the future is pushing a child into a certain sport or career path in the hope that that child makes it big so they can live off of them someday. Or worse, encouraging a child to date or marry a certain person so they can live off of the son or daughter-in-law. Narcs are always scoping out ways to enrich themselves without having to work very hard. Now, this is different from someone who may be an entrepreneur who's always on the lookout for ways to grow their business. The entrepreneur works hard, puts in the effort, and also reaps the rewards. The former reaps the rewards, the narcissist, but those rewards are ill-begotten. This next part bears mentioning, but really should probably be in a separate video. Part of the reason narcissists feel so entitled, especially to things no one is entitled to have from someone else, is that narcissists have convinced themselves that they are helpless in some way and in many ways victims. As a result of their perceived victimhood, they feel that they are owed this or that as a form of repayment for whatever they feel has been taken away from them. The problem with that mindset is twofold. One, they are typically requesting repayment from the wrong person or from someone who could never actually atone for what was done wrong. And 2, a narcissist's victimhood is at all times questionable. Is it possible for a person to be victimized? Of course, yes. Living in a state of victimhood, however, is optional. This is not to undercut or downplay the effects of severe trauma, PTSD, or other psychic issues a person may have as a result of legitimate victimization. It's about what a person decides to do from there that shapes the course and outcome of their lives. Those who choose not to let the victimization define them often are able to create inspirational and productive lives after the event. Narcissists, however, whether real or imagined victims, will use said victimization as a justification for how they treat others for the rest of their lives. For a narcissist, the scale will never be balanced, and therefore neither will they. If they were abused as children, they abuse their children. If they were cheated on in a relationship, they cheat in all future relationships. If they had an absentee parent, they become absentee parents. If someone stole some money from them, they steal money from others. Narcissists demand repayment from the entire world, and the bill will never be satisfied. They feel cheated in some way, usually as a result of imagined helplessness or victimhood. And again, that's not to say that a narcissist can't be an actual victim. It's what they choose to do to others as a result of their victimization that makes them narcissists. Some of you may know narcissists who actually were abused or victimized in some way. I'm not sure where I read it, but the author basically said that abuse should make a person less likely to abuse, not more. To illustrate this, children of abuse often overcorrect when they become parents and can be too lenient because they never want to hurt their kids the way that they were hurt. This is actually the natural way of things. If something really unpleasant happened to you, you're supposed to be less likely to repeat it, not more. Narcissists are not only more likely to repeat it, they're also more likely to use it as an excuse and crutch for pulling supply from others for the rest of their lives. In short, a narcissist, for one reason or another, is entirely comfortable with imbalanced relationships because they feel entitled to receive whatever benefit or benefits they are receiving from that relationship. This is magnified if the narcissist has a god or goddess complex, and God forbid if they might be a celebrity. Then they really feel entitled to be served, to be catered to, and to never actually have to return or reciprocate the benefits that they're getting from the different relationships that they're in. This topic is very complex. I might do another video on it because I still feel like there's a lot that I'm leaving out, but narcissists are among the most entitled people that you'll ever meet, and it goes a little bit further than selfishness. Selfishness tends to mean only thinking about oneself, only considering oneself. Entitled kind of means I only consider myself, but I'm also considering everything that you have to offer and I want it. Anyway, I hope this video made some sense. Looking forward to your comments down below. Thanks for listening, and as always, I grant you the permission to exist. Bye-bye.